Want to do them individually?
Yeah, we're going to do them individually for the newly elected.
If you need an adopted dad or either Dave or Cliff will stand in for
Left hand on the Bible, right hand. I, Rex Rossberg, do solemnly swear. I, Rex Rossberg, do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of New York. And the Constitution of the State of New York. And I will faithfully discharge the duties. Of the office of Madison County Supervisor. Of the office of Madison County Supervisor. To the best of my ability, so help me God. To the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations, Rex. Oh, yes. You did tell me. All right. Next, we have Rhonda Wynn. I'm going to go right around the horn. Shoe. I need you to sign bottom right.
How many things can you tell?
We'll see. Raise your left hand. Raise your right hand. I, Rhonda Wynn, do solemnly swear.
I, Rhonda Wynn, do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
Of the office of Madison County Supervisor.
of the office of Madison County Supervisor
To the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Excellent. Congratulations. John Bernard, coming up. Right. I, Joseph John Bernard, do solemnly swear
I, Joseph John Bernard, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Madison County Supervisor
of the office of Madison County Supervisor
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Awesome. Thanks, John. We'll walk right in.
See, you got a good seat.
I, Melissa During, do solemnly swear
I, Melissa During, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Madison County Supervisor
of the office of Madison County Supervisor
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Excellent. Thanks, Melissa. Congratulations. Problem. One more, Greg Reuter. Left hand on, right hand up. I, Gregory Reuter, do solemnly swear
I, Gregory Reuter, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Madison County Supervisor
of the office of the Madison County Supervisor
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Excellent. Congratulations, Greg. Come on up, Randy. Right hand up. I, Brandy Du Bois, do solemnly swear
I, Brandy Du Bois, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Madison County Supervisor
of the office of Madison County Supervisor
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Definitely.
Sure. All the other re-elected supervisors, if you would rise and raise your right hand. When I say state your name, you should say your name, not state your name. Okay? I state your name,
I, Matt Roberts,
I, Alex Stefanski,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the
support the
Constitution of the United
Constitution of the United
States
States,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of
Constitution
New
of the
York,
State of New York.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will
I will
faithfully
faithfully
discharge
discharge the duties
of the office of Madison County Supervisor
the office of Madison County Supervisor
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Excellent. As you sit down, please sign your cards. I will be around to collect them from you in just a moment.
We're all kind of not paying attention. We'll just give Mike a second here to collect his cards. Okay, I'm just gonna go through roll call really quickly. Corbin, Zupan, Vosberg, Moses, Jones, Walrod, Schwartz,
Here.
Wynn, Pinard, During, Reuter, Cunningham, Stokes is absent. Stepanski,
Here,
Becker, Kavanaugh, Roberts,
Here,
Maglioka,
Here.
Du Bois. There's 1,473 votes present. At this time, I need to call for a motion to open the floor for nominations for chairman of the board for the next 2 years, 2022 and 23. So at this time, okay, Moses and Mary, okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?
aye.
Carried. Okay, the floor is open for nominations. Now I need, it's up to your supervisors to bring up a chairman's name. Who would you like for chairman of the board?
I'd like to nominate John Becker for chairman.
Okay, Mary.
I'll second that.
Who was second?
John.
Are there any other nominations? If there's no further nominations, I will need a, hold on just 1 second. Further nomination. If none, clerk asks for a motion to close the floor for nomination.
I'll second that.
Zupan and Walrod. Okay. Okay, we have, is it just- did they do that first? No, I got this.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you want to.
okay, sorry. Okay, I'm going to do a roll call vote for John Becker for Chairman, Board of Supervisors. Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan,
Yes.
Vosberg,
Yes.
Moses,
Yes.
Jones, Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz, Yes. Wynn, Pinard, During, Reuter, Cunningham. Stokes is absent. Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker, Kavanaugh, Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Du Bois. There's 1,473 aye votes. Mr. Becker, would you like to come and take your seat?
Here, leave that thing. It should. It's what they call a government operation. Okay, thank you and welcome, everybody. Again, thank you for bestowing on myself the title of chairman. Cannot do my job without best employees, the best department heads, the best supervisors. We're all working towards the same goal, to be the best county in New York State. Thank you all for your support. Each and every one of you has a role to play here around the horseshoe for the people of Madison County. We get things done here. Look around at other counties, they do not. No matter what size, they do not operate at the same level that Madison County does. We are always on the forefront and the cutting edge. I think this best describes the times that we are in today. A quote from Ronald Reagan. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We do not pass it on to our children and their bloodlines. It must be fought for, protected, handed on to them to do the same. If not, one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States when people were free. With that, I'm going to ask Pete Walrod to sing God Bless America before I do the state of the county. You can all stand.
I'm going to change that up on you, Chairman. I'm going to
Okay.
sing a different song.
Yep.
So
Old McDonald or something.
might come off like that.
No.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where our fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. My native country, the land of the noble free, thy name I love. I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills. My heart with rapture thrills like that above. Our fathers, God, to thee, author of liberty, to thee we sing. Long may our land be bright with freedom's holy light. protect us by thy might, great God, our King.
Okay, do you want to do approval minutes communication? Well, first screw up of the day, my speech says good morning, good afternoon. As I wrote this year's State of the County, I pondered all that happened in the past year here in Madison County. For the time being, our county is in excellent shape financially. However, as a collective board, we need to contemplate where the county, our respective towns and districts will be at the end of the decade. What does 2030 look like? What changes are coming our way? By 2030, many things will change. Are there areas where we can consolidate and improve? As I said in my very first State of the County address, if you do not like change, then you need to go home and hide underneath the bed. But more than that, and more on that later, first, I want to focus on some of our great accomplishments over the past year. As I said in my very first state, COVID-19 has been a game changer for all of us. Not only in our political careers, but personally as well. Yes, our positive cases are up, but thankfully Madison County has one of the lowest positivity rates in central New York. And in comparison to those counties that took a hardline approach to enforcing the mask mandate. We continue to encourage our residents to be smart, stay safe, and stay healthy. There are a myriad of brain-boggling statements coming from the federal government as well as New York State. We as a county have to control our own future. The state and federal government cannot because they do not understand local government. We were the first in New York State to recognize that COVID-19 has played a significant role in our constituents' everyday lives and their mental health. That is why I asked the board to fund a mental health assessment for our county and its residents. Over the past year, a mental health task force was assembled to take a look at what the main issues are in our constituents' lives and what can be addressed to help mitigate the damage caused by COVID-19. The task force spent several months engaging in a range of activities to understand the mental health needs of our residents. This included interviewing county leaders, community leaders, and local experts, as well as reviewing a range of recent reports and data sources. The task force also set out a range of surveys to members of our community, including teachers, the senior population, as well as the general population. After gathering and reviewing all the data, the Mental Health Task Force recognized that there are a number of priorities and needs that corresponding strategies that have emerged that will contribute to the wellness and well-being of Madison County residents. The task force has complied the results of this assessment, and the outcome will be presented at our February board meeting. This study is important in so many ways to our community, and it will help us to see what we can do to resolve the issues at hand. I'm looking forward to hearing of the results of the study that was performed this past year so we can begin to take action and help our constituents get through this. Well, here at Madison County, we're looking out for the mental health of our community. A bigger question needs to be raised and dealt with at higher level. That is what to do to get people away from their TVs and the 24-hour news cycle or the misinformation being spread by social media. Both of these institutions should be held to a higher standard by our state and federal officials. A hearing recently done by the Senate about the effects of social media on the mental health of our children is a start, but more needs to be done. Historically in our society, we promote the importance of physical well-being more than mental well-being. You hear about getting your yearly physical, mammogram, or colonoscopy. We don't always hear, have you checked in with yourself today? Or it's okay to have a bad day. Things are improving, but focusing on mental well-being is still considered taboo. Mental health is an important or even more important as a society and well-being of a community. In 2021, we moved forward with several big infrastructure projects. The new highway facility in Eaton was completed. This state-of-the-art facility was better serve the southern part of our community. It is not only functional and looks great, but it incorporates green energy and is a safer and better working environment for our employees. In 2021, we also completed the Clockville Water District #1 project to provide municipal water and fire protection to the town of Lincoln and town of Lenox residents. They currently experience excessive water hardness, odorous water, and water quality and quantity issues in their existing private wells. The $2.68 million project installed 24,000 linear feet of 8-inch ductile iron water main, 176 residential water services, 44 hydrant assemblies, and 2 connections to Onondaga County water infrastructure. Municipal water is supplied by Aqua, who also operate and maintain the system by way of lease agreement. This project was deemed substantially complete in November 2021. Madison County is one of 2 New York State counties to receive a USDA Reconnect grant. This $10.1 million award will bring high-speed internet to some of our most rural areas, while at the same time set up infrastructure for a major competitor to better serve our residents. In 2022, we will hit the ground running on this project and expect to see significant progress. Broadband access will only make Madison County stronger, more accessible, and help us move toward a brighter future. Not only were we facing the pandemic in 2021, but also seeing and dealing with the results of bail reform. As said by former President Ronald Reagan, we must reject the idea that every time a law is broken, that society is guilty rather than the lawbreaker. It is time to restore the American precept that each individual is accountable for their own actions. District Attorney Bill Gaber's office successfully prosecuted several drug and alcohol-related fatalities, as well as the only murder case in 2021, which were all met with guilty verdicts. This was all done while battling discovery reform and the very poorly crafted bail reform created by our state legislature. My hope for our district attorney's office, probation office, and sheriff office, as well as our community, is that in 2022, the New York State legislature takes another look at that legislation and how poorly it was crafted. In our sheriff's office, consolidation has already begun, and the implementation of centralized arraignment and consolidating the southern resources at the Brown Road Site Highway Garage. In 2021, the sheriff's office added 4 more school resource officers. In total, Madison County has 9 resource officers covering 6 of our school districts. The Sheriff's Office Civil Division for the first time received accreditation from the New York State Sheriff's Association. Now the corrections, criminal, and civil divisions are all accredited. Body cameras were approved by the end of 2021 and are set to be implemented in first half of 2022. I would like to thank Sheriff Hood and his staff for working to shorten the pistol permit process. Turnaround time is just a matter of 3 months from start to finish. Thank you to all our sheriff staff for what you do day in and day out to keep our community safe. I know it has not been easy with legislation like bail reform and other social issues, but please know that we appreciate all you do for us here in Madison County. Madison County Clerk Mike Kevel and his staff worked hard over the past few years to improve electronic submissions of land and court documents, allowing us to do more in less time. Now this part, because it's Mike Kevel in the clerk's office, this is going to take probably about an hour. So just to warn you ahead of time. No, only kidding. The total number of documents recorded in the clerk's office in 2021 increased 22% over 2019 totals. As a result, recording fee revenues increased 31% from $471,000 to $620,000. Also, the new records management coordinator assisted several departments with the disposition of more than 500 bankers' boxes of records that were ready for disposal based on the New York State records retention schedule. This year, he will work to improve our record system even more with digitization and a new centralized filing system. In the DMV, the year started with rain, snow, and shine curbside pickup service in an effort to increase the amount of auto dealerships transactions in the Wamsville office. As dozens of new dealerships from Onondaga County began to utilize our office, the bottom line to the county increased by over 20% beyond the 2019 figures. This netted the county $1.65 million, the highest total to date. The higher revenue figures, combined with more than $700,000 in mortgage tax collection, helped Madison County offer its taxpayers a year with no increase in the property tax levy. The DMV also recently extended their hours to better serve our community. Also in 2021, with the monies we received from the American Rescue Plan Act, we funded 2 rounds of a restaurant gift card program called Madison Local Eats. We pumped over $345,000 of county monies with matching funds for a total of $690,000 into our local restaurants, which were severely impacted by our COVID-19 pandemic. This was a wildly successful program administered by our public information officer, Samantha Field, our planning director, Scott Ingmeyer, and our finance department. Hats off to all of them for their hard work. Madison Local Eats was part of our successful Buy Madison County program that we had put into effect a while ago by my good friend Supervisor Ralph Montfort from Casanova. We must continue to remind people to buy local and buy Madison County. I recently read an article on record beef prices across the United States, but farmers are not cashing in. The U.S. is consuming more beef than ever, but the farm gate price is not reflecting. Beef prices have climbed over 1/5 over 2020, but not at the farm gate. A recent White House analysis found that the top 4 meat packer companies, Cargill, Tyson Foods, JBS, SA, and National Beef Packing, control 86% of that market. This same analysis found a 120% jump in the gross profits of these companies since the pandemic began. In response to this, Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack said the Department of Agriculture will spend $1 billion of ARPA funds to expand the independent meat processing sector, including funds for financing grants, guaranteed loans, and worker training. I certainly hope that we can capture some of these monies because we have talked about an independent rendering facility at our landfill. This issue is not only being seen in our beef industry, but also with the dairy industry and the rest of our food stocks. Ask yourselves what will happen when the wealthy own all of the land and your food is controlled by 3 or 4 big corporations. The federal government needs to act now and break up these large multi-billion-dollar corporations. As in 1900, again, the federal government needs to do something. It is time to support our small farmers and food producers again. Capitalism without competition isn't capitalism, it's exploitation. That is why I'm asking the board to approve $1 million of our ARPA monies for our Buy Local campaign. This will be used to create a grant pool for local producers and retailers to be able to apply for funds for advertising and promotion of their local products. Promoting our local farmers and local food producers is only one way to protect our county. We also need to protect the farmland. In upstate New York, we are taking good farmland and covering it with solar panels. We have a growing population that needs to be fed. Where will our food come from when our land is covered with panels for the sole purpose of generating electricity to power New York City? We need to find a solution that includes protecting our valuable farmland and providing green energy that stays here. Another challenge we face this year is our landfill. Economics of scale is in effect here also. We run one of the smallest landfills in New York State. Our recycling program cost the county taxpayers about $1 million last year, recouping about 40% of that. Markets have changed. Recyclables are not as lucrative as they once were, and equipment costs more. Recently, we had to purchase a bulldozer for $500,000, only to have to be replaced within 10 years. We have initiated a study to look at the feasibility of our landfill and expect that to come back in late 2022 for a decision to be made in early 2023. Our challenges at the landfill bring me back to consolidation. By 2030, to be efficient while staying on the cutting edge, staying as a cutting edge county, we'll have to look at implement countywide assessment, tax collection, codes, and animal control. And the other big three will be ambulance consolidation as well as fire department consolidation. And then the final consolidation should look at townships. I know some people will be flipping out about these statements, but these things need to happen. They are inevitable. So we should start the process now. It is very understandable that the individual identity of our towns, of our fire departments, are ingrained in our very fiber of who we are. It will not be easy to let go. However, economics dictates that it is just not sustainable. As New York State, their infinite wisdom pushes more and more regulations down onto the localities and costs rise. Volunteerism wanes, and it is just not sustainable. 10 years ago, a fire truck would cost about $400,000. That same truck today will cost over $600,000. And the same goes for highway trucks, ambulances, etc. I am also asking the board to fund a study of the cost and efficiency of consolidations. Some cynics will call this an attempted takeover, but it is not. It is good business practices along with what New York State is doing to our localities. We better be ready when it comes. In closing, for 2023, we should be more actively engaged in policy coming from Albany and Washington. We are the people. We represent here on the ground floor. So to recap what needs to be done, 1, bail reform needs to be addressed and changed. Criminals need to be in jail and not on the streets. When a criminal breaks into your house or steals a car, they should not be let out the same day only to steal another car or break in another house. Advocating for local issues, such as the degradation of our precious farmland for solar panels and promoting our buy local and our mental health of our communities. Again, bail reform, our landfill, looking at how we can consolidate resources for a stronger and better self-efficient Madison County. This is an ambitious schedule, but it is needed to stay on the cutting edge as we do here in Madison County. With this, I look forward to a very successful 2022. Thank you. Want to give an update now?
He's going to do his comment.
Okay. All right, okay. Just hold on a second. Hold on. You're going to do retiree. Okay, go ahead.
Resolution of appreciation, retiree recognition. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Where's my other sheet for retirees?
Right there.
Okay. Okay, resolutions made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Walrod. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, first we have Kelly Golly from Public Health. She has worked for the county from 1991 to 2022. I thought you said he was going to be up here last.
No, you
Oh, all right.
just stay up here.
Oh, there you go. Kelly.
I told Kelly this morning, I'm not sure if I'll get through this, but Kelly was started working for the county 30 years ago, basically in December of 1991, as a typist. I don't think we even have that title anymore. She did take a senior typist position in DSS, so she worked for them briefly, but then realized how wonderful health department was and came back to us shortly thereafter, and has been with the health department ever since. She was the assistant director of administrative services, and then she became the director of administrative services in 2001. I came here in 2006, and Kelly was my, right-hand woman I depended on her for everything. She was my trainer. She trained me how things work in Madison County, and I will forever be gratefully appreciative of that. Kelly is as the Director of Administrative Services. She was in charge of what I'll call the back office functions. She was the budget, the finances, the grants, the contracts, the personnel. She was even our HIPAA compliance officer within the department. So she did all that stuff, and she did it extremely well. However, I think what's most important about Kelly, this is where I'm going to lose it. Stop. I told her it was her fault. So it was just her care and compassion for our employees and for the county in general. Every birthday card Kelly initiated for everyone in the department, along with cakes and cookies, which, by the way, she is one of the best bakers, and I'm truly going to miss that. But she was always the one that made sure everyone had what they needed to do the best job that they could. She looked out for all the employees. Always came to me and say, "Can we do this to improve this for them?" And I greatly appreciate that. I think what, excuse me, which most signifies this care and compassion is that just a few years ago, and some of you board members may remember this, it's not COVID. A few years ago, and some of you might remember this, Kelly came to me. We had a vacancy in the Assistant Director of Administrative Services, and we were having a challenge finding someone to fill that position. We did have someone that we would really love to be like a Director of Administrative Services, but that position was full. Kelly came to me and said, I'm willing to take a demotion and step down so we could hire this person and I could train them until I retire. So, and she did. So I just greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
That's right. Well, when Eric asked me if I was going to say anything today, I said, no, not really. But then I gave it a second thought. So I'm going to try to lighten up like he just said. And I'm not much of an entertainer, so don't expect a lot. So 30 years sounds like a very long time. But you know what? It really did fly by fast for me. I'm grateful for the time that I've had here. I've met a lot of really nice people, worked with many, many nice people. I can't even remember the bad ones. I just remember the good ones. I always called everybody at work my work family. I like to take care of them. So it's going to be really hard for me to walk out the door. But now my family's going to have me many more hours, more time for vacation, more time for spoiling my grandkids, and more time to drive them all crazy. I just hope they don't want to send me back to work. Thank you to everyone that's helped me over the last 30 years. It's been an adventure, especially in public health. So thank you.
Yep. Next, we've got John DeGroat from our highway. He's been employed from the county for 1994 to 2022. Okay, and then we have Lance Zaleski from our sheriff's office, 2021. Nobody from the sheriff's office? Okay. Over there. Very good. Okay, Eric, where'd he go? I thought we'd have Eric give us an update on our COVID-19 status.
This is going to be easier than talking about Kelly. So. First of all, welcome to the new board members. You'll get to appreciate these presentations I have on COVID. It'll be the highlight. So as you are well aware, the cases have gone up significantly. I think as of yesterday, we had, let me get my notes here, over 635 active cases that we know of. And I say that because that's based on laboratory reported cases that we receive. As you are also well aware, in the last several weeks, there's been an abundance of over-the-counter at-home test kits that are being distributed and sent out. We have no idea how many people are testing positive. So I say that even though the cases are still going up, and it's very similar to what it was last year at this time. January 8th last year, we had our peak at 421 cases, so we've kind of beat that record. Not that it's a competition, but we are at 635 that we know of. Our case, here, let me look. I can't even read my own writing, and it's typed too. So, sorry about that. All right, yeah, we got two different sheets.
You
here.
guys are supposed to be nice over there. Come on.
That's okay. That's where I get it from.
Oh, they've rubbed off on you too?
Well, I was telling Pete that I have an extra mask in my back pocket if he needs to add more to his community.
Wow.
Well, it's because we didn't get a lot. We didn't get a lot as a
I will
county.
never appreciate your reports, Eric, just so you know.
Thanks, Pete. Okay, anyway, so
That help, Benny?
I'm getting
Okay,
better.
All right, okay.
I'm here all week, by the way. So in terms of 7 day, the new cases per 7 day average, one of the metrics that we've been looking at is per 100,000. Madison County is about 1,005 per 100,000. New York State's at 1,769 per 100,000. So we are less than the state at this point. In terms of percent positive, I think we're at, let's see where that is. I'm not even going to say percent positive because that's a meaningless number anymore. But our percent positive is around 12%. I think the state's at 21% roughly, to give you an idea. It's just based on the number of people that get tested and reported. So in terms of the hospital capacity, that is an area that is I'm sure you can well attest to. That's kind of that's where the critical point is. At present, we have no inpatient beds or ICU beds available. However, I do want to point out, looking at the data, there's been fewer hospitalizations related to COVID in 2021 than there were in 2020. So just keep that in mind. Hospital capacity has been negatively impacted by fewer inpatient ICU beds available, which is a result in part due to the mandate for vaccine that significantly cut the number of employees at the hospital. So they had to reduce their bed capacity. More hospitalizations related to other chronic conditions. We're seeing a lot of people that did not go to get care that they needed due to COVID and the fear of going into the hospital that are now in serious health conditions. One of the things that we're working on teasing out a little bit better, we have to do it manually right now, but is that in regards to how many people are actually being hospitalized due to COVID as compared to how many people are hospitalized with COVID. And there's a difference. For instance, we had a 3-year-old get hospitalized, and when they got due to poisoning, upon arrival to the hospital, they're automatically tested, was positive, but it's not there for COVID, there for the poisoning. So we're trying to tease that out to really understand the severity of the illness and what COVID's real impact is with our hospitals. But in terms of, okay, honestly, our positivity rate was 14.4. That was a few days ago. Anyway. In terms of vaccination rates, we continue to go up. Our percent of the population with at least one vaccination is our adult population, 18 and older, is 84%. 5 to 11-year-olds have received at least one dose, and that's at 28%. The state's around 30%. From 12 to 17-year-olds have received at least one dose. Madison County is at 65%. The state's a little higher at 72%. We do have pediatric clinics tomorrow and next week, and we continue to push and reach out to get those individuals vaccinated. That's kind of our focus, is vaccinations and testing. We do offer testing sites as well. At the old Morrisville Highway Garage is our current testing location right now. And so all that information is posted on our website. And I know the state's opened up some additional testing sites as well. I think the big news right now, or most recently, is the change in the guidance that's come from the CDC and from the state, reducing quarantine isolation to 5 days. We are adopting that in Madison County, and we'll be working. That's kind of hectic right now. I feel like it's like October and March weather, where it's the messy transition weather in terms of transitioning to the 5-day protocol. We do have now Our isolation and quarantine orders are now posted on our website, and people can go directly to that, pull them down. And the reason I say that is because the paid leave act at the state level is requiring employers to our employees to deliver a release from quarantine or isolation in order to go back to work. So a lot of our work right now in contact tracing and case investigation, as noted by the state earlier this week, is ineffective. What we're doing contact tracing and case investigation right now to basically satisfy the paid leave act, give people the paperwork to go back to work. So the state, I think, has recognized that. And Tuesday on a call with the state, and starting next Monday, the state's going to be taking over the case investigation. And we'll be moving away from contact tracing completely. So we'll be directing people to pull that stuff off the website. Hopefully we can advocate, or the counties can advocate, that the paid leave act needs to be revisited and revised if possible to affect that. So, so it's going to be messy next couple of weeks. We had a conversation with the schools today on how this is going to work, but I think we're moving in the right direction. It is a glimmer of hope. I think that we're moving in this direction. It kind of, in my opinion, it signals the end of this as we move away from the isolation and quarantine contact tracing and start moving towards the realization that it's with us. It's going to always be with us. We're going to live with it, and we're going to have to accept a certain level of COVID in our communities to move on. So hopefully I think that's probably the most positive one I've had on COVID in a while, if that's positive. So, good question.
Thank you. Anybody got any questions for Eric? No? Okay, very good. Thank you. So Mark has a little something that he sent to Eric, or Eric, you sent it on to the state health director? Yeah, the county and the state health director sent it to the county health directors for a little COVID humor to break the tension of this whole thing that's been going on for 2 years. Are they dead?
Yeah,
There you go.
They're off in the Christmas COVID handicap hurdle, and first to show is Omicron Lad. Omicron Lad being closely followed by the Booster. The Booster, Omicron Lad, in a bit of an early race here with each other, the Booster and Omicron Lad. Antigen test trying to get in there. Antigen test, Omicron Lad, the Booster. Track and Trace trying to get a look in, but he looks to be struggling early doors, I'm afraid. Track and Trace. Antigen test on the outside. Here comes HEPA filters. HEPA filters being followed by the Booster. Omicron Lad, the Booster. Omicron Lad not giving an inch to the Booster. HEPA filters. Here comes New Year's Eve, absolutely cruising on the outside. Everybody talking about this one, New Year's Eve, looking confident and assured. The Booster, Omicron Lad, HEPA filters, Track and Trace is knackered, he's gone. New Year's Eve is coming fast. Sudden spike appears out of nowhere. Sudden spike, the big danger. New Year's Eve, the Booster plugging away gamely with Omicron Lad. New Year's Eve, sudden spike. Here comes Leave Them Kids Alone. Leave Them Kids Alone. Sudden spike, New Year's Eve, and a late challenge from It's Only a Cold. It's Only a Cold. Sudden spike, Leave Them Kids Alone. The Booster, 4th dose. Nobody saw this one coming. 4th dose out of nowhere. It's only a cold. 4th dose. It's only a cold. Leave them kids alone. 4th dose. It's only a cold. I had no idea how they're going to sort this one out, to be honest with you. They all crossed the line together. New Year's Eve just crossing the line now, absolutely spent. And Track and Trace is still running, would you believe? Happy Christmas.
Ready? Yep. Okay.
Drinking water before bed burns 46 pounds in 2 weeks.
If you were strong.
Okay, start with resolution number 2, a regular agenda. Appointing a county attorney, Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Mr. Walrod. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Aye.
You sure? Till the end of the meeting? Oh, okay. Okay.
Resolution number 3, appointing a clerk to the Board of Supervisors, Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
This resolution, I gotta keep this together, is the last one for Cindy Ertz, appointing her as the chair, as our clerk. Yeah, chair. Clerk of our board. She's done it for how many years have you done it?
Well, I've been here 47 years, but it's been since 85, clerk.
So, a long time. So Cindy plans on retiring this year, and that day will be a sad day for all of us. She's done a great job. She's kept this dais organized for many a chair and many a problems, and she's always been the cement that has kept the Board of Supervisors together throughout recent time. And I appreciate everything Cindy's done, and we will miss you when you go, Cindy, and thank you very much. And I'm going to second the resolution for Cindy to be appointed as the clerk. Okay, is there any other discussion?
Yes, Chairman, I just have a question. Did she start when she was 2 years old? Working in the county?
12. It was 12.
They didn't have those back
They
then.
didn't have them back then.
Yeah, not back then.
No.
Thank you.
Wasn't Amelia Earhart a guest here at the time or something? Okay, all in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Cindy.
Thanks, thank you. Okay, now we'll go with the preferred agenda resolutions with the Finance Committee. Resolution number 4, authorizing contracts with not-for-profit organizations for Madison County IDA. Number 5, authorizing contracts for not-for-profit organizations for Office for the Aging. Number 6, authorizing contracts for not-for-profit organizations for Soil and Water Conservation District. And number 7, authorizing contracts with not-for-profit organizations for contracting agencies. Cliff Moses, Vice Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means.
Resolution's been made. Second by Mr. Cunningham. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Moses,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Wynn, Pinard, During, Reuter, Cunningham, Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka. Oh, he's absent. Okay. Dubois, Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan,
Yes.
and Vosberg. 1,418 ayes.
Carried. Do you want to get mad? Because it's your last trip around. You can say if you want to get
No,
mad.
no.
The Zoom thing, when people go in and out and we have to keep track, she has to keep track of the votes, is a kind of a pain in the neck.
Try to watch this.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, next we have Criminal Justice Committee resolutions. Resolution number 8, authorizing agreement with Morrisville Eaton Central School District for the use of special patrol officers. Number 9, authorizing agreement with Dr. Samad for the jail physician services. Number 10, approving participation in the Controlled Substance Administration Plan for Emergency Medical Services Paramedic Unit. Number 11, authorizing agreement with Oneida Healthcare Center for the purpose of supplying controlled substances for Emergency Medical Services Paramedic Unit. And number 12, authorizing agreement with Oneida Healthcare Center for the purpose of purchasing controlled substances with the Emergency Medical Services Paramedic Unit. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Corbin. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jones,
Aye.
Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Wynn, Kennard, During, Reuter, Cunningham, Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts,
Aye.
Dubois, Corbin, Zupan, Vosberg, and Moses.
Yes.
1,418 ayes.
Carrie.
Just
Oh, yeah. Resolution to approve the vouchers. I need a motion for that, please. Who did it?
No.
Mr. Moses, seconded by Mr. Jones. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody
Aye.
opposed? Carried. Okay, motion to adjourn. Did anybody else have anything? Okay, motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Walrod, second. Second by Mr. Moses. We're adjourned. Yes, committee assignments will be mailed out late tonight or tomorrow. Today's Thursday. What did you say?
Emily's got announcements.
And
Oh,
then
Emily.
for all supervisors, I need you to make an appointment with Christine or myself to come to the county within the next couple of weeks. We're going to get you set up with laptops so you can view your agendas and do everything that way. So you can figure in probably about 15 minutes to a half hour, give or take. But you can do this anytime in the next couple of weeks, just so long as it's done by January 27th. Please, Pete.
And you can
All
come during
right.
your committee. You have committee meetings last
Yeah.
week of the month. You can also come do it during that time. Just set aside
Yep.
15 minutes at least.
Yep.
An hour for Pete.
And I'll send out an email to remind everybody as well. Okay?
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody have a great day.